Thank you. Thank you very much. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, let me thank the government and missions of the People's Republic of China, as well as the European Union for co hosting this important side event. Poverty, distinguished colleagues, imposes massive human suffering. It is the most pervasive violation of human rights. It is also the root cause of social and economic instability and most of the political and security problems across the world. Around 1 billion people, 15% of the world's population, live in poverty. 80% of them are in rural areas. Nearly 600 million go hungry every day. And today, 20 countries face acute food insecurity. Poverty and hunger are interrelated. It is thus only right that the eradication of poverty and zero hunger are the first two among the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The COVID 19 pandemic will further push around 100 million people into extreme poverty and add 83 to 132 million to the total number of undernourished around the world. Excellencies, dear colleagues, it is much more important today that we protect our food systems, which are the main source of livelihoods for nearly 4.5 billion people. To combat hunger and reduce poverty, action is required at both the national and international level. At the national level, priority must be accorded to expand food production with new farming methods, improved seeds, better water utilization, new technologies, access to credit, enhanced transport, and connections. We need to mobilize adequate investment in sustainable food systems, especially critical infrastructure, including such means as storage facilities and transport, to assure market access for remote and small farmers in the rural areas. The most prominent example in this regard is the targeted approach adopted by the People's Republic of China and the green lanes created by the Chinese government to ease transport, production, and distribution of agricultural inputs and food products. The cooperation between Pakistan and the People's Republic of China under the China Pakistan Economic Corridor now encompasses also the promotion of agricultural production in Pakistan. This will be a vital element of our strategy to combat hunger and end poverty. However, apart from the direct attack on rural poverty at the national level, we need to address systemic causes of poverty and hunger. Uh, at the international level, the structures of finance, production, and trade must be made more fair and equitable. Developing countries must be helped to recover from the COVID crisis, to realize the SDGs, and to ward off the impacts of climate change. The kind of facilities and funding facilities which were mentioned by Ambassador Zhang Jun will be essential in this endeavor. Dear colleagues, subsidies by some major industrial countries have led to chronic overproduction, dumpings of surpluses, and distortions in global markets. This has made it impossible for small farmers in developing countries to produce food at competitive prices. Reform of the international agricultural system is therefore essential to make these trade practices fair and equitable. It is also important that breakthroughs in new agricultural technologies to enhance food production, improve seed quality, and efficient water utilization are shared with developing countries on preferential terms. The current crisis has put into bold relief the importance of digital technologies. Urgent actions are required to bridge the digital divide within and among countries. This will be all the more crucial for agricultural produce, which is relatively of short shelf life. Access to digital technologies for small farmers would also help in overcoming the exploitative middlemen in the trade. Excellencies, I am happy to note that this year's high-level political forum will include an in-depth discussion on SDGs 1 and 2, no poverty and zero hunger, as part of the focus on SDGs this year. I also expect that the Forum for Financing on Sustainable Development, the Forum on Science and Technology and Innovation will discuss financial and technological barriers in our efforts for poverty eradication and technological diffusion for improving agri-food systems and efforts for the eradication of rural poverty. I also hope that the upcoming Food System Summit next year would provide an opportunity to agree on a comprehensive approach to achieve the SDGs, especially to eliminate poverty and hunger. I thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. There is no way we can eliminate hunger without eliminating poverty and reducing inequalities, and the rural sector plays a crucial role for that.